Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I have the ESL Meisterschaft match in between of Tribe versus Inquisition. And well, we struggled quite a bit in the last couple of matches, so we need some victories to somehow get a really good spot in our group. So this match is actually pretty important for us. And I will show you guys, like always, all of the attacks of this war. And we have like a main topic for this video as well, which is not only the war, not only the attacks itself, it's about the meta. Like, how is the meta going to be? Do we like only have perfect wars versus perfect wars in the future? How is that going to happen? Like, what exactly is going to be the meta? All of those questions we will take a look at in today's video. And we're starting off with an attack of Eve Check with the really nice Zap Yeti smash. And what he's doing so far, he's starting off with an E-Drag at the top side, he's starting with the Warden funnel on the left side, and well, now he's placing the really cool looking King skin. If you're thinking about buying the new King skin or any of the offers in game, make sure you use the creator code, and if you want to support me, it's just code ITSU. Thank you guys so much for that. And now the Yeti smash is finally getting into the base, getting into the danger zone, and now the Queen is doing this small step to the outside arch tower, and this is actually really bad. The reason why this is so bad is because now the Queen is not with the Yeti smash anymore. This means she's kind of alone on her own at the town hall. Now he's using the Queen ability, but because there's nothing around, she's just running straight into the bomb of the town hall, and that means there's no Queen left from this point on. The next thing which is going to be is the Hawk Riders from the Siege Breaks are going to come into the bottom side with the Royal Champion together. The Royal Champion is dealing with those pesky skeletons, and meanwhile the Hawk Riders are clearing things up. But now it's all about those freaking healers. Can anyone explain to me why exactly those stupid healers are stuck to the Warden? I mean, there's not too much damage on the Warden, which basically means there's no damage, but at least those healers tank the scatter. So that's something positive either way. Now the Royal Chain ability, and now it's getting really close because there was a skeleton trap and a tornado trap. I guess it was because of like possible Yeti blimps. But is this going to be enough? The cannon is going to get one shot. The Wizard Tower is going to get one shot with the combination of the Royal Champion and the Warden. And this should be the first triple of this war. And that's already the first step in our main topic, which means what is going to be the new meta. Those attacks are super close, and maybe this attack would have not been enough if the defense would have been maxed, but still we see so many attacks that even if some things are going wrong, for example like the Queen going random as hell and going into the tunnel bomb, even if those things are happening, you can still triple. And that's something which earlier was not possible, and I think it's completely wrong. Like, if something is going wrong in your attack, if you're doing a mistake, something like that, then you should get punished and should get rewarded with a 3-star. That's way too easy. That's not how it works on the most difficult. It should be the most difficult because it's the highest tunnel level. So that's something which is quite annoying, but let's keep watching and let's see if this is going to happen a couple of more times. The next attack is going to be Striker from Inquisition. He's going in with the Zap Mass Witches, a strategy which is really powerful, and he's bringing, instead of the 5 lightning and the earthquake, he's going in with the 7 lightning. That's a bit more powerful when it comes down to bringing those big defenses down, which for example the Eagle is. So the next goal for him is he's trying to pick off those buildings on the outside, obviously trying to go for the splash damage on the left side. Already taking out the Scatter and the Eagle, which are huge defenses, but because he used like 2 more lightnings, this means he only has 1 rage. So that's already a big change, because this means he has only 1 rage, most likely to get into the town hall, but there's no rage to get into the back end multi, which is a huge thing. So let's take a look at how exactly this is going to turn out. Let's see how exactly this is going to be dealt with. So the wall breakers so far didn't really work. Like, I guess he tried to open the Warden compartment, which would have meant that he could have used the jump spell in the core to open the entire base. But because the wall breakers were like, YOLO, we just don't care about this one corner which you would like to go as go for it. So instead they're going for some other walls, which means in the end he has to use the jump spell really early, and the jump spell is now missing in the core. The Queen on this one as well is going for the outside, but this time it's not too bad, because this time the Queen can actually help the Royal Champion, the P.E.K.K.A. which just died, and the Hawk Riders, which means they're getting quicker through all of those buildings. And now there's only this one multi left, and the healers are keeping those witches alive. So the witches can't die. The witches finally made it through the wall. The Inferno Tower is just getting one shot, and this means the last remaining defense, which could actually somehow help this base to survive, got killed, and this means there's going to be an easy peasy overkill. So really nice attack by Striker, and this means the first 2 attacks of this war are already 3 stars. So let's see who is going to be the first one failing with this objective, failing to get the 3 stars, but this one should be easily getting the 3-star done. And yeah, it was a really great attack, to be honest. Like, nice idea with the 7 lightning spell combination to take down Eagle and Scatter. And yeah, great attack. Hats off to that attacker. And let's take a look at the next attack, which is going to be obviously from us. So 8 attacks still to go, 2 attacks are done, 6 stars are collected overall. So let's take a look at the next one. The next one is going to be, well, it's going to be me who is attacking, and I'm going with the Queen Charge Hybrid. I know Queen Charges got really heavily nerfed because, well, there's this sneaky CC now in there, and that's something for the new meta, which is Headhunters, which is Goblins or Archers, and then it's the Super Minions. Why exactly is this CC so strong? That's pretty easy, because the problem with this is, like, so far there were always CCs or Clan Castle combinations, which if you dropped, like, if you had a really unlucky timing, you had to invest like Rage, Freeze, and Poison or something like that. But on this CC, it's even worse. On this CC, you need for sure every single time, even if you're lucky, you need at least 2 spells, which is a Poison and a Freeze. Otherwise, you're done. You don't have any chance. So it's kind of sad to me that even though Queen Charge is already kind of weaker or like more risky to do than spam attacks, Supercell even decided to even like keep nerfing those Queen Charges. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward if anyone is brave enough in the next qualifier to do a Queen Charge. I just think it's stupid. Like, why should you do a Queen Charge if you could just use Air Hybrid, which we had yesterday? So if you guys haven't checked that out, you should definitely do that. Like, that's a strategy which everyone can use. It's insanely strong. I can just recommend it to you guys. Like, this strategy is actually right now maybe the strongest in the game. But still, let's get back to this one. I'm using the Queen Charge because, well, I had the Yeti Blimp, so that wasn't the biggest deal in the world for me at the beginning. But now we're getting into the base with the Hybrid, and that's kind of the main thing why I did this, because of this pathing. With the dead zone and everything, the Hybrid was just super straightforward and really easy to predict. So that was really, really nice for us. Now the Hybrid is getting to the back end. We used the heal spell to get everything in there, and now everything is looking really, really good, and we can get into the back end. We can even use the 1 rage to get our Hybrid faster into the last scatter, and this is just a freaking insane overkill. Like, you guys can normally on a Hybrid, like whenever you're doing Hybrid, and you don't have a siege barracks because like there would be Hawk Riders delayed coming out, but normally whenever you do a Hybrid, Hawk Riders would die out after the first couple of seconds kind of in the Hybrid. That's normal. They are dealing damage in the beginning. That's kind of their job. But on this attack, until now, there were still Hawk Riders alive. Like, that's how overpowering this was. I don't even know how many miners died. Maybe 1 or 2, but even the King survived. And with all of those really nice looking barbarians, this is going to be crazy overkill. And this is going to be the 3rd attack of this war. And this is going to be the 3rd 3-star of this war as well. So once again, we're getting back to the question, who is going to be the first one who's not getting the 3-star? I don't even want to call it a fail, it's just not getting a 3-star. So let's keep going and let's take a look at the attack of fight. And he's going in with a Queen Charge Zap Hybrid. Like, attack which is really powerful, and especially if you can like get really nice value with a lightning spell, it's really strong. And the idea which he has looks really good. Like, he just wants to walk into the town hall, and then I guess starting at the top side with the Hybrid. So this is looking really, really good for him. Now it's all about his queen making it there without having to invest too many, too many spells, because that would be pretty bad for him. So what he's doing now is trying to keep his queen obviously with a lot of pressure and everything, but trying to keep his queen in a low hit point, but at the same time trying to not invest any spells. That's like the main goal right now. And so far he's doing a really good job with that. The next thing is one thing which I really like can to all of you guys, whenever you do a queen charge, bring headhunters. Fight is showing perfectly or showcasing perfectly why exactly it's so good. The king would have forced the queen ability or a freeze or a rage or something without the headhunters. So headhunters are so underestimated, which is insane. So just bring a couple of them, maybe even only one, just your queen charges, just in case, and especially if you're walking or charging around the enemy king. Now the queen is doing one step, which is she's doing this one step to the dark elixir storage, which means he has to invest the freeze and a rage at this point, which is kind of unlucky for him, because otherwise it could have been that the healer angle would be different, but still, it's kind of unlucky at this point. Still, the P.E.K.K.A is now getting into the base, and now the next question which I have is, why exactly did he deploy the king at the bottom side? A Yeti or something would have been way better. And the problem now which he has is following. With the king being at the bottom side, and with having a siege barracks, you normally have a lot of power reinforcing your main hybrid push. But with not bringing the king at the top side, a tank for the scatter shot, for example, is missing. Because the P.E.K.K.A, obviously, even though there was another level in the last update, it's dying out kind of quickly. So you need some sort of tank at the top side, and this is obviously not the P.E.K.K.A. So you need the king up there, a Yeti at the bottom side, or even another P.E.K.K.A, I think, and this would have been a 3-star, because now, even though I spoiled already the result, but you guys can see why, the bomb tower into a double skeleton trap with the single Inferno tower, first sniping the Royal Champion and then sniping the Warden, this was pretty clutch. Like, this Inferno tower definitely needs, like, a round of applause, because this guy, this defense, completely saved this base. And this means this base is once again not tripled. By the way, if you guys are searching for a good base, this was one of our last qualifier bases, and it's doing insanely well still. I think Maxi used it in pretty much every single war after the qualifier, which means after people know the base already. And I think it got tripled like once. So if you guys are searching for a good base, maybe not on the highest level, but still like in half decent wars, use this base. But now let's get into the next attack. And since we saw the first attack, which was not a triple, let's see if we can keep going with the triple train, which we started in the beginning, or like if we can get it back. Ziggy is coming in, and he's going in with the Yeti blimp, queen charge, hybrid. So let's see how exactly he's going to see if he can somehow make this work. He's doing a Yeti blimp in a really high value pocket or like compartment, which means he's getting a scatter, an expo, and a warden. That's a lot of value on the same spot. So that's already pretty nice. And now he's doing the next thing, which is quite risky to be honest, which is charging into a sweeper. You guys can see the sweeper pointing directly to his queen. So this one is going to be kind of tricky. So using the rage early, and now the next thing, kind of coming back to my point which I just had, is make sure to use your spells and everything around that correctly. And once again, headhunters are important. You guys will see in a second, he had to force his queen ability because he did not freeze the enemy point defenses. And now with not having any support to kill the king is easily killing the queen even in the rage. So that's not the best thing which can happen in the beginning of a queen charge, that your queen is dying right away, obviously. So he somehow needs to save this. And like I said, bring 1 or 2 headhunters, especially if you charge around the king. That's super freaking important. Now the hybrid is getting into the base at the top right side. He's using the king to funnel. Obviously he has no siege barracks with him, but still he's trying to somehow make this work. The queen is around the right side trying to defend everything. Now the tornado trap is keeping the Hogwarts away from dealing damage to the defenses, and he still needs to somehow get the tunnel. Now the delayed Royal Champion, but the Hound is covering the top side, so this needs to be quick, otherwise this is not going to be a second star. He's using the poison early to get the Inferno Dragon down, and now the tunnel is dropping, so the second star is here, but it's really, really far from a third star. So this means the percentage lead which we had, we still have the star lead at the moment, but the percentage lead which we had as well is just gone. And from now on, if this match is going to be a tie on stars, we're going to lose most likely, if Inquisition is not having like a big oopsie as well. because 66 or 65% or something like that in a war like this is really, really devastating. Like, it's even coming close at some point to a 1-star, because having such a low percentage of, like having such a low number of percent is giving a huge advantage to the other team. So if you can get this on defense, really, really nicely done to Striker or whoever built this base. Really, really well done. So let's take a look at the next attack, because once again, Inquisition is trying to come back and trying to get into the lead in this match. And what they need to do is they need to get the triple. Otherwise, they might lead in percentage, but they're not leading in stars. So this match is still freaking close. So let's see what exactly Nebrax is coming up with. And it seems like it's going to be a drag bat attack. Drag bat attacks are going to be more and more, or like are right now more and more popular at the higher levels of the competition, because a lot of people are not really taking care of their splash damage too much. And it's more like, yeah, this could be something like that, blah, blah, blah. So it's like bats in general are really, really hard to defend if you're not taking care of them too much, and especially you need to like have your splash damage covered for like Lalo attacks, so you can't really spread them out too much. So you need to have like those small kill zones where those loons just cannot survive and things like that. So that's kind of tricky. So bats in general are really, really strong. So let's see where he's coming in from. And he's actually going right into the sweeper with his dragons, which is kind of interesting. I thought he would go in from the top side and try to go in with a blimp or something for the town hall. Not sure. Either way, this E-Dragon is trolling him like hell. First off, this E-Drag is activating the town hall, which is completely super bad for him. And then the next thing which he's going to do, he's like tanking a black man and then just right away dying. So this E-Drag got like 4 buildings or something and activated the town hall, which is probably the worst trade in the history of Clash of Clans. So that E-Drag was really, really unlucky. So that was kind of unfortunate for Nebrax. And he already invested this 1 freeze, which he could have had for the back end as well. So that's something which is quite important. Now the dragons are getting into the core, and we're seeing the huge problem with the scatter shots. So the scatter shots are obviously super strong, but if you top bats on top of them, they're not that strong anymore. they cannot defend themselves, and that's pretty unfortunate. But this attack is ending as well, because there are still 1 or 2 freezes left, but still there are so many so many bats died already that it's really hard for them to somehow do something. The queen as well was alive, killing another dragon, getting another dragon on like half health, and the eagle is non-stop firing as well. The top side archers are still alive, so it was a really good attack. But I think the E-Dragon kind of killed his hopes at this point. Like this E-Dragon chain value into the town hall was kind of the big problem for him. So I guess we can all agree this is not going to be a triple, so I think we can speed through the rest of this attack, but still really going to be really good percentage, which means even if Inquisition is not tripling this attack, if they're going to triple the next one, they're still in the lead because of the percentage oopsie which we had in the beginning. So we need to keep pushing this lead, otherwise we have a huge problem. So we cannot say like, yeah, we're in the front, like we have the 1-star advantage. That's not how it works. We need to push this. We need to somehow get the next triple in, and Maxi is trying to do so. And he's coming in with one of the new strategies which are right now in the game, which is the air hybrid. Like I said, I posted yesterday already a video about this strategy. If you want to have a guide on this one, definitely check it out. This strategy is pretty strong. But now let's take a look exactly on the plan which Maxi has. He's starting off with the lightnings in the core, getting rid of all of those buildings in the core, using another earthquake on the left side for the Inferno Tower, then starting off with the king, using the Royal Champion as well to get his Royal Champion to the Inferno Tower. And that's a small trick. Delay your lightning spell to make sure that you're resetting the beam of the Inferno Tower. And now the heroes are wandering around the top side. Meanwhile, we have the air hybrid now for the bottom side. That's kind of the goal at the moment. Since we took out the core, the pathing should be pretty good. The dragons are getting started. The minions up in behind. The king walked into the eagle compartment, taking down the enemy Royal Champion, taking down the eagle, so that's looking really good. Now the slammer on the right side to tank the scatter shot. I think the slammer might be a little bit early because the scatter wasn't really threatening the dragons, but still nice warning ability to keep all of the dragons around the town alive. And there's still one more rage which you can use to get into the back end. He's going to use that rage now, getting into the scatter, getting into the multi, etc. And like I said, the dragons from the slammer were kind of early. Like this air defense was shooting them like non-stop. So I think the slammer could have been a bit delayed, but still it's looking good. It's all about this backhand. The scatter is shooting like non-stop. The next black mine is hitting the minion. And now is the scatter dropping? Is the air defense somehow getting killed? Or is this going to be a huge high percentage fail in the end? We have to wait. In the next black mine, the minion is trying to get rid of this king, because even though there's only one air defense left, and the Tesla obviously, but still the king is going to tank for the air defense, and now it's all about the air defense. How much damage can the air defense do? There are 4 minions which are dealing a ton of damage, and now the dragons are slowly dying. The minion died as well. The one dragon is trying his best, but the dragon is going to die, or is he? The dragon is not going to die, and this one is going to be the next triple for Tribe. And now Inquisition needs to catch up. Otherwise, this war is decided. So the next attack for Inquisition needs to be a triple. Otherwise, they're pretty much out of the game. So let's see. Michael is going in, and he's going on Xilis, which means Xilis has not a max base just yet. He has obviously the army camps, but not the archer towers, not the Tesla. So if something can work, then obviously on this base. Michael is once again coming in with the witches. That was already the first attack of Inquisition where they tripled as well, which was insanely good planned attack. So let's see on how good this time it's working. He's using basically the same army, but this time he's using kind of the army which is more well known, which is the 5 lightning and 1 earthquake combination instead of the 7 lightning which we saw earlier. This time he only took down the scatter, and I think it was an expo or something, and now he's going into the base with the witches from the bottom side. He's going to try to wall break into the eagle, and then I guess jump into the backhand. And since he has right now a blimp selected, I'm going to guess that the blimp is going to is meant to be for the town hall. So let's see. Ice Golem first. Super wall breaker is making to the wall. Wall breaking open. Everything so far looks good. The farm looks perfect. The Ice Golem is exploding. The rage is getting used to get all of his troops into the base, especially the skeletons. The king on the left side is slowly dying because of the queen. And now it's all about the split and the pathing. Using the warden ability nice and early. The blimp the blimp is making it to the town hall. That should be fine. The super minions are shooting like non-stop, but there's now super goblins in there, and this is looking good for Michael. But a lot of witches already died on the outside since there were like a lot of giant bombs, etc. And the scatter is dealing a ton of damage to those witches, and you guys can see all of those small graveyards. The freeze was way too late, and now there's not too much left. 2 witches on the outside, 3 witches I think on the inside. The 1 witch on the inside is getting targeted by the cannon and by the multi-inferno tower, which means there are only 2 witches on the inside alive. But can this somehow work? The Royal Champion is still alive on the right side. I will zoom out so you guys can see it. And now, using the Royal Champion ability early, the Inferno Tower should get dropped down. The other Inferno Tower is getting killed as well by the Royal Champ. And this is looking really good for the attacker. Can Michael somehow push this through? Then the Tornado Trap was on the right side. It's getting triggered. Is giving the minions a nice party down there. But this is not going to be important because the queens are what should, if the queen is staying alive, that's one's going to be a triple. I think time should be not a problem. The queen is getting, the queen ability is getting used. The minions, the archers and skeletons are splitting off of the queen and clearing out the left side. The queen is staying alive. The minions and archers are coming in from the right side, and this one is going to be another triple. Maybe it would have been a defense against the max base, but either way, this was a triple, which is bringing Inquisition back into the game. So, really nice attack, once again with the witches. So those witches are really scary. So nicely done by Michael. So I think what we should do is, let's take a look at the next attack. Because if our last attacker, which is Xilis, is going to triple, we have the win. If it's a lose, if it's not a triple, then Inquisition can still win the match on percentage if they get a triple in their last attack. So this war is far from being over, guys. This war is really far from being over, and we see E-Dragons from Xilis. That's pretty nice because they had a really nice rework, so let's see how good they're actually going to be. Using the zap once again, or the lightning once again delayed to reset the Inferno Tower, using the Royal Champion Shield to take care of that, and now the wizard tower is the next building on the menu, not going down, but the queen should get that. He's wall breaking into the air defense, getting access to this the eagle. Everything looking pretty good for now. The king on the outside is clearing out of this trash out. The queen is dealing with the skeletons. So far so good. But the next wall break, where is he dropping the wall break? The wall break was supposed to guide the queen into the eagle compartment so he can take out the enemy queen, because the range of the queen, he is not getting access to that. The ice golem is getting the warden at least frozen. That's something positive. But now the queen is walking around the outside. Is she walking in? Where is she exactly going? She's walking in, using the queen ability, getting rid of the warden, getting rid of the enemy wizard tower first, I guess. Now the queen, now the wizard tower again. And both are going down. There was a lot of stress in the beginning. Now the E-Dragons are starting. Let's see how good those bounces are into the core and if this can somehow help. Now the slammer from the bottom side as well. The warden ability really early. Not sure if that was the best choice on this base, but either way, the tornado trap was right in front of the town hall, so a blimp would have been caught in there. The loons are making it to the town hall. Town hall's getting killed. The loons are dying. Now the next rage in the core. And now take a look at this freaking warden. The warden is always sniping those low HP buildings, which means I feel like the change for the E-Dragons was actually a huge nerf, because this means the warden is always sniping the low HP targets, which means the E-Dragons just cannot chain anymore. I don't know, it feels as a huge nerf. Now the scatter is still alive. Scatter shot can still shoot. The air defense is still alive. Is this going to be somehow enough? I feel like it's going to be sadly a no, because most of the E-Dragons are dying. There are 2 more E-Dragons alive at the bottom side. They're nearly full HP, but this scatter and this air defense in the middle, they're just going to stay alive forever. So this one is going to be a defense, and this means Inquisition with a 3-star can win this war. And this one is kind of unfortunate. So let's take a look at the last couple of seconds. But I mean, you guys can see it. This is not going to be a triple. We will wait for the result, and then let's check out the last attack of this war, which was Inquisition attacking. And let's see if we can get finally another win in the ESL Meisterschaft, because we're not looking too good over there. So let's see. The last attacker for Inquisition is going to be the Repo Man. So let's see how this is going to work. Well, it's witches again. Inquisition is so far 2 out of 2 with witches, so that's kind of scary, to be honest. Let's see how this goes. This time he's using the lightning spell for him, scatter and then expel. Let's see if that's enough. The warden is dealing with the first line of trash buildings, etc. And then I guess he's going to go into the town hall. There's a sweeper. There are 2 ground expels behind, so that's not the easiest entry for witches, I think. And the first thing already, which is a huge mistake, he's losing a witch right away because he dropped the ice golem too late. So that's, I mean, you need the witches to power up together. As soon as you lose a couple of witches, this attack is falling apart, because the idea of this attack is just overwhelming the defenses. And if there are a couple of witches dying, that means not only the witch itself is missing, but the new spawned skeletons are missing, and that's some huge problems for this attack strategy. So that's something which is really important. There are a couple of witches on the outside, there are a couple of witches on the inside, and now it's all about how quickly can those troops survive or die. And the headhunters were the MVP, because they forced the queen ability, and this means the queen has no ability left. There are 2 expos which are shooting non-stop, and the expos are actually counter to witches, because expos are having a really high fire rate, which is giving skeletons like a really big trouble time. And you guys can see, warden is dead, queen is dead, this attack is dead. So that's kind of the story of this attack. It was a really good try, but yeah, the beast defense is too OP, really nicely done. And well, we still have the Royal Champion, but this one is yeah, done and dusted, I guess. So yeah, the Hawkers try to do some more things, but there's still the king. The Royal Champ is still there, so that's going to be for sure defense, which means this one is going to be another win for us. So in the end, we're going to win 13-12, which was pretty close because this one is quite a low percentage. We're even having in the end the percentage lead, but still a huge war. And that's kind of the getting me back to the main topic. Are we going to see only perfect wars in the future? No. Is the meta too easy? Yes. It does not mean that the meta is not too easy if we don't see only perfect wars. That's not the thought process which you should come up with. It's all about what is the thing which you're looking for score-wise. And I think pretty cool scores would be obviously close attacks, but in the end something like on each side, 1 to 2 triples on each side, that should be it. Otherwise, I think it's too many triples and it's showing that the meta is too easy. And this was even one of the lower scores in the last couple of matches. So I'm not really sure, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the attacks. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for another one. Until then, see ya and bye bye.